If you want to know the best gear in Death Stranding 2, you are in the right place. There are a lot of shelters that you can level up at endgame, and not all of them can give you the best unlocks. I spent days collecting and testing every endgame equipment, so ultimately I can give you my absolute top 15 best gear overall to save you the longest work and a lot of time. Like for example, the auto resuscitation device, which automatically revives Sam after getting unconscious, giving him a second chance to either run away from danger or fight back. You may find this equipment useless in your day-to-day deliveries, but it can provide value when storming bandit camps, especially in higher difficulties. Of course, you don't want your cargo or your stuff being stolen if you get unconscious when fighting bandits, so this gear will give you some sort of safety net, especially when dealing with armored bandits or the endgame human type enemies in this game. Get this gear by raising your relationship level to 4 stars with the Motherhood. The active defense systems automatically detects and destroys throwing weapons such as incoming grenades or stun rods to protect your off-roader. Although it can be classified as a weapon, I see it more as a defensive gear. Not gonna lie, I find this cool, especially knowing that the off-roader will be safe from electrical shocks since it renders the truck useless when overloaded with electricity. However, I much prefer that my off-roader is equipped with 2 offensive weapons, but of course I can understand that there are players who want to play on the defensive side of things, so this piece of hardware will provide value on that specific playstyle. Although you can just use the off-roader speed boost to dodge incoming grenades or stun rods, this equipment will allow you to eliminate the need to dodge and allow you to concentrate on offense. Get this off-roader upgrade by raising your connection levels to 2 star with a point person in South Fort Knot. Since you'll be spending most of your time in snowy areas at endgame, the thermal pad can give you a significant advantage. Pretty straightforward equipment that provides heat to Sam, especially when in the middle of extreme snowy weather. Extreme cold in this game drains Sam's stamina quickly, so you don't want to find yourself in a nasty situation like what I experienced. There were a lot of times that I didn't use this equipment when doing deliveries in snowy areas and regretted it big time. Low stamina means more stops to rest and the longer you stay in the field. If I had these thermal pads on me, things would be so much easier, especially on delivery missions where vehicles are not present or available. Unlock this equipment by raising your connection levels to 2 stars with the Adventurer. If you want to protect your cargo from timefall and don't want to bring a lot of container sprays, the backpack cover level 2 is your friend. What it does is this gear will deploy a timefall resistant cover that protects cargo within your backpack. Although it can only protect a limited amount of cargo, it is so useful when trying to complete short orders. The backpack cover also protects cargo from scattering whenever Sam trips or whenever out of balance, giving you a nice safety net. Unlock this equipment by increasing your connection level to 4 stars with the Fisherman, while also unlocking the level 1 version in the process. Taking the top 13 spotlight is the High Capacity Blood Bag. The High Capacity Blood Bag is a great addition to any loadouts in general since it increases the blood bag reserves to 1000 rather than 500. Of course, I don't need to expand its usefulness, and simply put, the more blood reserves you have, the more chances of you not dying in combat. If you level up your connection levels with the Motherhood, you're already unlocked this awesome equipment when leveling the shelter to 3 stars. If you're getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me a lot. Join our Discord server and discuss role-playing games such as this, and I appreciate your support. Stamina is one of the key factors when maintaining Sam's day-to-day deliveries, so the Canteen Level 2 is one of your must-have gear in this game. The Level 2 upgrade can house a lot of more water compared to its basic form, so you will have more chances of replenishing your stamina in the field, allowing you to maintain Sam's optimal state, especially when engaged in long-distance deliveries. You might think at first that stamina is not really an issue, especially at the early game, but when you reach the snowy areas in the game or at the late game, you will see the need for stamina management. You can unlock the level 2 canteen by raising your connection levels to 2 stars with the Tar Therapist. Coming in hot in the top 9 spotlight is the Boca Skeleton level 3. The Boca Skeleton is a different beast that you should have in your loadout, especially when traversing snowy terrains, making snowy terrain traversal smooth like butter, which is extremely useful at endgame. There will be missions where you can't bring vehicles with you, so this skeleton will save your skin a million times over. You will see this skeleton's value when the off-roader spike tires are not yet available, so you'll be using this a lot in snowy mountain deliveries. This skeleton even allows Sam to traverse rivers and tar pits by improving his overall balancing and speed. But I noticed a little increase in movement speed when moving on tar, but definitely the increased movement speed is present. But the banger is the Boca skeleton adds a whopping 180 kg of extra weight capacity, so expect around 400 plus of carrying capacity at late game if you have this equipped. Unlock this awesome gear by increasing your relationship levels to 4 stars with Ease Fortnite. Yet another skeleton is taking the top 8 spotlight, the Boost Skeleton level 3. This skeleton is one of my absolute favorite gear in the game, which allows Sam to sprint at high speed and do long jumps. Useful when bypassing rivers, canyons, and other terrain obstacles. Running around with a skeleton usually gives me a different dopamine hit or thrill, and there's a high chance you would enjoy it as well. Not just useful in day-to-day deliveries, but this skeleton performs in combat as well. Because of your inhuman speed, enemies will have a hard time catching you or hitting you with bullets. Using the Boost Skeleton in combat gives a different thrill and experience, especially when your long jumps can easily turn into drop kicks, transforming you into a brawler speedster. When not in snowy areas, the Battle Skeleton and the Boost Skeletons are my absolute go-tos. But the biggest bonus here is that the 80 kg additional carrying weight it provides, so if you have a limited time order and vehicles can cut it, the Boost Skeleton can save your day. Unlock this awesome gear by raising your connection levels to 4 stars with the Dowser. One of the most fun equipment to use in Death Stranding 2 is the Stabilizer level 3. What it does is it stabilizes Sam's aerial form when at mid-air and increases his jump distance to cover as much ground as possible, thanks to the Stabilizer's vernier thrusters. If you want to roleplay as an astronaut, this equipment is for you. This equipment streamlines the travel experience when going down from mountains or high places, which is most of the time results in an enjoyable experience. What makes this thing broken is that it also adds a built-in battery, so you are scoring 2 functions in one gear. However, note that the extra battery level 4 will add more energy compared to the stabilizers, but it is still nice to have. Get the stabilizers level 3 by raising your connection levels with Aeronautical Engineer to 4 stars, and it will be yours. The off-roader is Sam's staple vehicle all throughout the game. It provides immense value in your day-to-day deliveries, but can also be a dangerous tool against any type of enemy. A lot of the best weapons in the game are off-roader attachments, so I tend to use the off-roader in any type of combat and gain the hardware superiority most of the time. So anything that improves the capabilities of the off-roader is often a good item, and the additional armor is one of them. The additional armor makes the off-roader even more durable, making it a fast-moving tank. Get this awesome upgrade by increasing your relationship level with the mechanic to 2 stars, and your off-roader will never be the same. I consider the coffin board a vehicle, and there is no doubt that this is one of the best vehicles in the game. This piece of hardware surprised me in a lot of ways, like how enjoyable it is to ride one of these, or the coffin's abilities to bypass any type of terrain, especially tar pits or lakes. It was designed to run on tar, so this is expected. But riding it while crossing the Great Tar Lake is a completely different experience. This thing is super fast without any exaggeration. So if you are dealing with rocky terrains or not ideal routes while completing a limited time order, the coffin board can easily be an asset in any type of situation. It requires Kyro crystals for it to operate, but we all know that Kyro crystals are not an issue in this game. Reaching the 100k cap is so easy if you know how and where to farm. If you want to know the best farming methods, I linked my Kyro crystal farming methods in the description or by clicking the card here. A must-have here that can be unlocked by just proceeding in the story and connecting the mechanic into the chiral network. We all know how Boca Skeleton can provide a lot of value in your loadouts, but what makes Boca Skeleton even more reliable is pairing it with the Absolute Boots, an endgame boots that gives Sam a lot of perks, like improving his balancing in all types of terrains, improving his overall grip against slopes, or reducing the chances of tripping when running on rocky terrains. These boosts even increase the power of Sam's melee kicks, especially the drop kick, which can one-shot targets most of the time. Think of it this way, take all of the best qualities and features of the other boots in the game and combine them all into this version. So there is no reason for you to not wear this awesome gear. Get this gear by raising your connection levels to 2 stars with a point person located in the F5 South Distribution Center. One of the absolute absolute gear that you can't afford to miss is the climbing gloves level 2. Now this looks boring at first glance, but the climbing gloves level 2 provides so much value across all scenarios, especially if you're a fan of the off-roader vehicle. These gloves allow Sam to replace the off-roader's sticky gun by allowing him to pick up cargo manually with the use of the glove's magnetism, which applies to cryo crystals and other items in the field. So your off-roader can concentrate on offense by having two offensive weapons rather than settling with a sticky gun. The climbing gloves do provide value in combat as well, making Sam's punches deal significant damage against mechs and human targets. You wouldn't believe me if I told you that these gloves can take out regular mechs in just 2 punches. It can even make coffin mechs stagger a lot and can beat their ass to the ground. Ever since I unlocked this gear, this never left my loadout. So when you have the means to unlock it right away and you'll be enjoying its value until the end of the game. Get this gear by raising your relationship level to 3-star with the adventurer and do it as soon as you can. One of the absolute best gear that you should be using is the off-roader's spike tires. Another gear that may sound boring, but I am telling you, this upgrade will streamline your travel experience on every type of terrain. With the spike tires equipped, you will find yourself being able to bypass non-passable rocky slopes or rocky formations, which is insane. The reason why the spike tire is high up on the list is that you'll be using the off-roader a lot in endgame, especially when maxing a lot of shelters in the snowy mountains of Australia. The off-roader can haul a huge ton of lost cargo and regular cargo from orders, streamlining the whole process. The spike tire is the key factor of making these deliveries as easy as hell, not just in snowy mountains, but in any part of the map. Being able to climb a super steep slope like Walk in the Park can save you a lot of time. You'll be unlocking this awesome gear by just proceeding in the story and connecting South Fort Knot to the chiral network. There is no question that the best gear in the game is the extra battery level 4, which is another gear that may sound boring at first, but think about it for a second. All of the equipment that we talked about so far is being powered by batteries. And obviously, your most overpowered equipment will be useless, so that makes the source of power truly the best gear in the game. Another useful tip is that when Sam has an excess amount of battery levels from his personal gear, he can supply energy to any type of vehicle when it runs out of energy, which is very useful in emergency situations. This neat trick is possible by activating the A-Pass enhancements emergency vehicle charger. You may also notice that its size was smaller compared to its level 3 version, allowing you to slot in another mini battery along with it. Unlock the extra battery level 4 by increasing your relationship levels with a point person in Hartman's lab to 4 stars. Maybe you are wondering where are the other best gear in the game, like the ammo container level 2 or the off-roader itself. I covered them all in this video since the other best gear can be unlocked early, and this video will teach you everything you need to know. Head there and I will catch you on the next one.